Hey everyone, Michael here, Southern Indiana Sawmill. I wanted to give you all an update about the cancer and the chemo treatments that I have been undergoing. I recently had my second round of chemotherapy, and I just want to get to the point because I don't have a whole lot of energy, but I wanted to keep you all updated. The second round of chemotherapy is horrible. I think I have experienced pretty much every possible side effect that a person can experience from it. Primarily is just extreme fatigue, the likes of which I would have a difficult time explaining to anybody unless you've actually been through it. It'd be something like working 24-hour shifts without a break and just being unable to sleep even though you are extremely tired. Body aches, neuropathy, which is really strange because you don't feel sensations as much, but then again I'm also extremely sensitive to sounds and smells. General irritability, which is not normal for me. I get irritated really easily. But there's something that I want to tell you about all of this. That my life changed on December 3rd when I went into the ER and was ultimately diagnosed after 4 hospitals and 3 biopsies with stage 4 adrenocortical carcinoma, which is an extremely rare cancer. And it's in an advanced stage. We don't know, based on treatments and possible surgery options, if that's ever on the table, really how long life looks for me at this point. I can tell you this, the first round of chemotherapy was difficult, but the second round really has me questioning if this is really worth even doing this anymore. The drugs are worse than the cancer, and what they have done to me emotionally, physically, has really caused me to question if this is something that is worth continuing to pursue, at least this treatment plan. There are more treatment plans available that are possibly more effective than what we're currently undergoing. And so we have talked to my oncologist about that. And the doctor is willing to look at other options. But we first have to prove that this one that makes me feel so horrible is actually not working. I'm going to be totally honest. There is a despair that I didn't think I would ever feel again in my life. And I just don't know if I can continue to endure this way. There is one thing, as you saw by the title of this video, that I want to address, and that is the fact that many of you who have been through cancer battles yourselves, or are starting to go through it, or have friends or family that are going through it, is that you have been lied to about your cancer. When my life changed on December 3rd, here's the biggest way that it changed. Before cancer, my life carried on as normal. I more or less had the energy to do pretty much anything that I wanted to do. And I was free to so live my life as I felt fit. But after December 3rd, my life became a whirlwind of doctor's appointments and medications. And it sure seems like Everywhere that I go now, every cancer center that I'm at, every time I go to get treatment, that there are people whose entire lives have now become nothing more. Their identity has become nothing more than their sickness itself. And I can see how easily that can happen. Because, especially in my case, where it's a very complex cancer and it takes several doctors, it's easy to see how it becomes so all-encompassing. Because literally, every single day, every day, it's another phone call from a nurse or a doctor, it's another prescription renewal, it's a sickness, fatigue in your body. Just it never goes away. And it's so easy to start thinking that your whole life is nothing more than this sickness. But it's not the truth. It's just not true that you are only your sickness. Now, I, for one, do not think that I can convince any single person or change anyone's heart to believe like I believe. I do believe that the Scripture says plainly and clearly, just as Jesus himself said, that no one can come to him unless the Father first permits him. And so there's a romance in this effectual calling, if the Lord were so to call and change someone's heart to believe. But there are truths that are deeper than what I think we can even comprehend, even when we know these truths. What are we if we are more than the sickness? What are we if we are more than a cancer? Even though every day it's constantly in your face, there's constant reminders of how ill you are. What are we? And I just have to be reminded when I'm dealing with my own depression, dealing with all of this stuff, and dealing with what is sometimes feels like hopelessness and complete despair, because they've told me that the nature of my cancer is incurable, even though there are people who have been. I have to be reminded of what the Scripture says that is true. And so I just want to read this real quick to show you that if you think your life has become so encompassed by all of this, that it's all that you are, you have been lied to. And you need assurance and truth to help you endure. And again, I can't change your heart, but perhaps the Lord will. Let me read this quick. It's from 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 35. It says, "But someone will say, 'How are the dead raised? And with what kind of body do they come?' You fool! That which you sow does not come to life unless it dies. And that which you sow, you do not sow the body which is to be, but a bare grain, perhaps of wheat or of something else. But God gives it a body just as he wished, and to each of the seeds a body of its own. All flesh is not the same flesh, but there is one flesh of men, and another flesh of beasts, and another flesh of birds, and another of fish. There are also heavenly bodies and earthly bodies. But the glory of the heavenly body is one, and the glory of the earthly is another. There is one glory of the sun, and another glory of the moon, and another glory of the stars. For star differs from star in glory. So also is the resurrection of the dead. It is sown a perishable body. It is raised an imperishable body. It is sown in dishonor. It is raised in glory. It is sown in weakness. It is raised in power. It is sown a natural body. It is raised a spiritual body. If there is a natural body, there is also a spiritual body. So also it is written, the first man Adam became a living soul. The last Adam became a life-giving spirit. However, the spiritual is not first, but the natural, then the spiritual. The first man is from the earth, earthy. The second man is from heaven. As is the earthy, so also are those who are earthy. And as is the heavenly, so also are those who are heavenly. Just as we have borne the image of the earthy, we will also bear the image of the heavenly. He goes on to say that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom. In the book of 1 John, it says that we don't know yet what we will be, but that when Jesus appears, we will be like him. This is the truth. Someday, every single person is going to have to die. And we don't have a choice, really, how that is going to happen. Life often seems unfair. I took good care of my body. I made good choices in life. The cancer didn't care. I see other people who their life seems to prolong, even though they neglect themselves and they're haters of their fellow brothers. I don't understand. I wish I could, but I can't. But what I do know is the truth. And the truth is that if this cancer is all that I am, if you are ill and you think your illness is all that you are because it's encompassed your entire life, you need to know there is a much greater truth out there. And I suppose that these current sufferings are not worth comparing to the glory that is to be revealed. Friends, I've used up all my energy to make this video. We love you all. And as I recover, which this recovery has taken a lot longer, I'm 9 days post-chemo, and I'm still not even close to being back to any kind of normalcy. But Lord willing, we'll get some more stuff posted, and we'll have some fun doing it. I have hope that will happen, and that there will be better treatment options available in the future. So for those of you that are like-minded and are prayer people, just continue praying for that for me. And I thank you for watching. God bless you all. Until next time.